Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing in our series of levels of health for the Enneagram 5. Of course, the Enneagram is a 9-point personality typing system, and we are covering all of that right now on the channel. The 5 is also known as the investigator, and there are 9 levels of health according to the book Personality Types by Rizzo and Hudson. And we are now in the series portion that is average, which means this is where most of us are going to be, is a little bit average. So let's jump on in. I'm breaking this one down into 3 separate videos just because it was going to be a lot otherwise. Level 6, bordering on unhealthy, at the lower level of healthy, is what he calls the provocative cynic. And here are some highlights of the level 6 health of the Enneagram 5. At level 6, through their style of speech, their manner of dress, and the subjects that they involve themselves with, 5s are saying to the world, "Leave me alone." If others could not get the message before, 5s become more aggressive in their efforts to scare people away. 5s at this level, level 6, are somewhat antagonistic. They love to take things to their farthest limit for their shock value, to defy what conventionally has been done, or to puncture and demolish popular beliefs. I wonder if this is sounding anything familiar to anyone you know. As dyed-in-the-wool nonconformists and dissenters, they rebel against all social conventions, rules, and expectations, whether they involve feminism, politics, child-rearing, sexual liberation, or all of them in some particular fashion. They have an axe to grind. Lower average 5s at this level 6, in other words, and lower, the point is there is no point. Life is fruitful. People are stupid, and life is meaningless. That is bordering into that level 7, 8, 9, what we talked about in previous, and I'll link below, into the nihilism aspect of the Enneagram 5 at the unhealthy level. 5s at level 6 are not crazy, even though their ideas may be strange and extremely unorthodox. 5s at this level 6 also worry about establishing their intellectual property, protecting their ideas, threatening lawsuits if they think someone has stolen one of their amazing ideas. At this level, 5s are becoming cynical and hopeless about all of their ideas and projects. A profound pessimism is creeping into their thoughts, and they begin to see all viewpoints as equally irrelevant. They can argue any point. This is what I found interesting. They can argue any point because everything seems equally true or untrue, and therefore equally worthless. Again, that lower level of health for a 5. Average 5s may not be able to face a job interview or learn to drive a car, but they can conquer the world, survive a nuclear holocaust, or wield awesome occult powers in the world of their imaginations. So basically, not particularly great at functioning in life, but we got all the other bases covered. This is where it starts to get a little sad to me. At this level, 5s feel profoundly unsettled and anxious about their apparent helplessness in what seems to them a dark and hostile reality. Things are going dark. 5s desperately want to find something they can do that will make them feel more connected with the world, but their fear and anger cause them to retreat farther and farther from any contact with others. They are tormented by their tempers and by their teeming imaginations. Insomnia is not uncommon. So again, having a hard time sleeping. Lean in for this. If they could reach out to others and acknowledge their own suffering, 5s could turn around their difficulties and reconstruct their lives. That's if they reach out to others. If they continue to turn away from the world, however, they may eventually cut off what few connections remain in their lives and plunge into the much more terrifying darkness, which we discussed in the last episode of this series. I will link below the levels 7, 8, and 9 if you haven't already seen that video. Until next time, bye.